So hello, now I'm on to the swords, ace through 10. I'm using the Rider White Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. Here is your Ace of Swords. Now, when you're reading the Ace of Swords, a lot of times I've seen the meaning as victorious. And it is victory. It's about victory. You know, it's holding that sword up and you know, I've got this or I did that. But a lot of times what I see when it comes up in a reading is clarity. It's this, the Page of Swords to me is that aha moment. But, and depending, actually there's different pages and different decks that tell me different things. But this is definitely a clarity moment. And it's definitely one of those, but it's a big clarity moment. It's not just, I should do this. You know, you're finding out something that really is going to make a difference in whatever that situation that you're reading on is. It's a huge aha moment. If I see it in a, as an action, it's a tough action card, but I would say, if it came up, I'd be reminded to say, you know what, be clear in your communication. That would be the action. Swords are about our thoughts, about communication, those kind of things. So when they come up, we want to think a lot about communicating and how we feel about things, and not our feelings, but just being clear in our needs, wants, whatever, or our expectations. Especially depending, even if it's a relationship, hey, you know what, be clear on what you want, what you need, for sure. So yeah, let's bug at me. Move that out of the way. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to stop the tape. So there you have it. Let's see, Ace. And again, you know, if it comes up in the past, it means that there was some clarity or there was some kind of victory in the past that's leading to whatever's in the future. Here is the Two of Swords. I see this a lot. I want to say, girl, turn around. What's behind you? Make those decisions. Put those swords down. Take the masks off. She's got the moon shining right on all of these things. And as an action, that's exactly what I tell people, especially if they are into any kind of metaphysical anything. When I see that, I think, you know what? Here's the deal. The action behind this card is meditate on what those islands have in store for you. What do they have? What can they bring you? What will they bring you? Yeah, I see that a lot. And I feel like, you know, it's so funny. It's the decision that the longer she holds those, the swords are going to get heavier and heavier. How long can you hold them for? And then what happens when you can't hold them anymore? That means you've allowed fate to take over. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that needs to happen. But it's also a reminder of that. So this is a decision. This is a stalemate. This is a stuck card. Comes up in a reading. It's a, you know, you're not moving forward. Your hands are full. You're not making a decision. Is it out of fear? What's behind it? And remember, with the swords, it's all in our heads. A lot of the stuff that's going on here in these swords. So a lot of times, and while we think, oh, if it's just in our head, it's easy. Actually, those things can be the hardest, because sometimes breaking a thought pattern or breaking that is hard to do, to break those thought patterns that we have, or thought processes. So that's the Two. And then we have the lovely Three of Swords, my favorite card, not. It is heartbreak, it's separation, it is pain, hurt. You know, it's really funny because it always seems to come along with love, and it's not a cup. You know, to me there should be some kind of really mean-ass cup card. But it does have the swords through the heart. But it also tells us, because it's swords, that it's a lot in how we're viewing it, or how we see it, or how we're communicated to. But this can be a separation physically just separated for a while. You're missing somebody. Your heart hurts for them because you want to see them. You know, someone's spouse is overseas or fighting, you know, or I mean, like a big deal type deal where it's hard, it hurts, it's sad. It could definitely be a lot. It's a loss. It's a separation. It's a say goodbye, no more. When it comes up in an action, it's kind of hard. But when I see it in an action, it's when I take the card and put it in reverse, especially this one specifically. Let them fall out. Let the swords fall out of your heart. You got to look at it differently. You got to take a different perspective. It's almost going back to the hangman, yes, but it is, because if it's in our head, then we have to do that sometimes. Is you know, turn it upside down. What's on the other side? Let yourself heal, because the next is about healing. The next card, 4 of Swords, is about healing. So let it heal. You know, give it time. And then the 4 of Swords, yeah, all about healing. It's taking the time to heal. This can be emotional, physical, any kind of healing. Can be totally just needing a minute to get a grip. I mean, or it can be big healing, you know, coming back from cancer or something like that. It can be all kinds of healing. He's forced to lay down. The 3 of Swords are above him. If he gets up, he's going to stab himself. So he's forced to heal. He's forced to lay there. And when it comes up in a reading, it's like, it's time to heal. It's time to take a step back. It's time to, you know, take some time for yourself. Read a book. Sit in a hot tub. Take a bath. Epsom salts for sure. So it is, and it is a stopped period of time. So if it's about a relationship, that relationship is not moving. It's healing. The parent's healing. The other person's healing. The relationship's healing. Something's not moving at all. That's always when I see this. It's just nothing's happening. That's it. Nothing's happening. Nothing. But it doesn't mean that nothing's happening, because the healing's happening. And if I do see it as an action, definitely take, you know, like, depending on who it is and who I'm reading for, if it comes up and it's, hey, if it's a girlfriend, hey girl, go sit in the bathtub, put some Epsom salts, man, light a candle, put some smooth jazz on and chill, and heal yourself. Or, you know, if it's bigger than that, I mean, it could even mean, you know, a reminder to someone to seek help as well, if it's healing that deep, that they really need to fix an issue. So remember that too, because, you know, when you're doing readings, we can run into people that need more than just a reading. They need real help, you know, a psychologist or therapy, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, nothing at all. We all have our tough times that we have to navigate through, and talking to someone can be key. So 5 of Swords, there's 3 guys. There's the wounded, there's the guy walking away, and there's the guy that goes, I won. And, you know, depending on the reading, who is the queen at the time? Are they the ones walking away? Are they the ones wounded? Are they the ones that won? Now, we're reminded with the 5 of Swords that this could be a conflict or a fight that someone is not playing fairly. So it's a big reminder when you're reading this this card. There could be someone not doing the right thing, not playing fair. It could mean that there is just something going on that's not quite right. The court could be the winner and they could be playing fairly, but there might be something that's happening that's just not right. To me, the 5, if this comes up, it's different than the 5 of Wands. It's telling me that, hey, there's some conflict here. There's some fighting. There's some things here that, nah, it's not quite right, you know? Something's up. Someone's not playing fairly. Someone's saying stuff. Someone's being bad, or just not very kind. The 6 of Swords is probably one of my favorite cards too. Now this can be a moving card, traveling card. Travel, it's probably by sea, right? Okay, I know, but it's probably. It is a reminder that the person in the boat is making the choice to leave something that's not good. It's going out of the rocky waters into smoother waters is basically the way people explain it. And so basically they're leaving something behind that's not serving them, but not in the way like the Eight of Cups, but more in the way like, this is just a bad situation. They're leaving that Five of Swords situation that's not good and moving forward. Now, I always read that those 6 swords, the 6 swords that are all in the boat are lessons that we're taking with us, because when we leave a bad situation, we need to remember what's happened and how we got ourselves into that bad situation. And when we move into this better place and happier place, we need to remember those things. We need to make those lessons learned, not repeats. So I think the Six of Swords packs a bigger punch that way, because it's not only are we leaving these rocky or messed up waters, a messed up situation, and going to something better, even though we're doing it kind of blindly. We've learned a lot. And we're gonna do better next time, because we are taking those lessons with us. And in action, that's exactly what it is. It's like time to say goodbye, time to move on. Whatever it is, you need to move on, but you need to remember what you learned from it. And I think that's a key to the action part of that 6. There's so many lessons in these cards. So the Seven of Swords can mean so many things depending on what comes around. I've heard everything with this 7. Okay, so it's about, someone stealing from you, or you stealing from someone, or a thief. It's about, is he really stealing, or is he taking back what's his? Is it a reminder that you're missing something? You've left with only 5 swords and there's 2 more. Is it because you can't fit anymore? Is it because you're stealing them and you don't have time anymore? It's so many things. But it is about taking. So whether it's theft or taking back what's yours, or if you are taking back what's yours, you're doing it you're not doing it out in the open, because that's what this card is. I mean, it's about being sneaky. He's definitely sneaky. He's looking back. But it doesn't mean it's wrong either, depending. I mean, it could be about someone doing the wrong thing, stealing, whatever. But it also could be about someone, taking back what's theirs, but they just want to get out of there. And that can be anything, So if it comes up to me, when it comes up as an action, I tell people, take what's yours, but take it all. Don't leave something behind. Don't do it. So that's the action behind the 7. To me, that's what I say. Because I feel like, I don't know, if you've been married and have been through a divorce and you don't get everything you want, dang it, take everything that's yours. Anyway, you're just going to miss out if you don't get it. So here we've got the 8 of Swords. So now we're stuck. And this is just stuck. It's stuck up here. Yeah, she's tied up. She's blindfolded. Again, notice like the 2 and the 8, they're blindfolded. They can't see. That's just telling us that we're not looking. We're choosing to have our eyes shut. That's what the blindfolds tell me. So when I see that, it's like you have a way out of this, but you're choosing not to open your eyes. There is some instances where we are truly stuck, and it's not our fault. How about COVID? COVID made a lot of us stuck in a lot of different ways, and those weren't our faults. So there was that. But these are usually our things, like I'm stuck in my head about thinking I'm not good enough to get this job, or I'm stuck here because I just don't think I can do that, or I'm lazy, or whatever. It's usually about the person being stuck because they're not opening their eyes to what they can do to get out of the situation. I almost always get clarifiers on this, because what's the situation and what are they stuck on in their mind that they can't get around to get out of it? So that, yeah, that's basically the Eight of Swords. So when it comes up as an action, definitely take the blinders off. Look at what you got. Look at your options. If you have to make a list, make a list. Do something, but open your eyes to it. And it's easier said than done. So I want to keep that clear too. We've got to be, you know, a little bit. We should be. Yes, we need to be. When we're doing readings, we need to be cognizant of what our clients are going through, because we don't know everything. We don't know, like, we don't know what's on the other side of their life. We don't know what demons they're fighting. And just keep that in mind. We don't know. And the cards can tell you an awful lot, but there might be things you just don't know. They may tell you, but, you know, don't be judgmental, or you can't be a judgmental tarot reader. I mean, if you really want to read, you can't be. I mean, it's just not fair. It's like being a therapist and being a judgmental therapist, and those don't work out in my favor anyway. I've had them. Nine of Swords. So, you know, this is about nightmares, anxiety, stress. Why is the camera's crazy today? So, yeah, Nine of Swords, anxiety, bad dreams, being woken up in the middle of the night, all of those horrible, horrible things. When I see this a lot, it's just that. You're in your head, man. Anxiety is about, like, living in the future, like living for the future instead of living for the now. It's about what's going to happen next. What's going to happen? What am I going to do? Oh my God. I'm thinking about this. I'm anxious about that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I have huge anxiety problems, or I used to, huge. And so it's a real big thing, but that's what this card is. It's about worrying. So when I see it, it's totally about worrying. I would say when it comes up as an action, I'm reminded to say, hey, don't live in the future. You can't control necessarily what's in the future. So just as a reminder, you know, live in the now. That will help the anxiety piece a little bit. It's much better when it comes up in the past. But if it comes up in the future, it's about, you know, something that's going to happen that's going to cause this anxiety. It's going to cause this feeling of anxiousness, basically. So, yeah, Nine of Swords. Now we've got the Ten of Swords. This is my least favorite card in the deck. I used to get mad at my reader when she'd pull this card. How dare you pull the Ten of Swords? Look at, I mean, golly, he's stabbed like 10 times. He cannot get up. He cannot move. So this is the ending of something. Complete, total end. You know, if you look in books, it's, you know, things have to end for something new to start. That's just the way it is. It is the 10. The ace is going to follow. So there's going to be some clarity. You're going to understand what happened. You know, everything's going to be okay. But this hurts and this is hard. So when this 10 comes up, keep in mind the swords, this suit is hard. Like when it comes up, I hate seeing the swords. It's like, eh. Except for the ace of swords. I like that. I also like the 6. But they're hard. They're hard cards, all in all. And this one is that as well. The skies in this one are dark, but the horizon is not. So that does give us the hope that something is out there. It is something coming to an end completely. It's not a end like the death card where there's going to be some kind of transformation or rebirth. It is the ending of something. So it could be the ending of a relationship, a job, a feeling. You know, like let's say, your life's been kind of like rotated. It's this way, boring. It could be the end of boring. It could be the end of anything. So it's not always a bad ending, but it is an ending. And there's no sugarcoating that. If there is a true death card, I would see this as the death card. Like this would be come up if someone were to die, be I hate to say, I won't read on that. I would never read and say, oh yeah, this, someone's gonna die. But that's this card. If I hate, like, again, I would never read that, and I would not suggest that anybody else read health. You don't do it. You're setting yourself up for law, and you could hurt the querent. Honestly, I mean, if they asked you, about a situation that they were in physical, and they wanted to know if they should, if they were going to be okay, and you say, yeah, you're going to be fine. Everything's going to work out just fine. And so they listen to that, and then they don't go to the doctor, and then it doesn't turn out fine because they don't follow the path that they should, because you said they'd be fine. So even though the cards were saying that there was going to be a good outcome, maybe they're not staying on the same path, because now, I don't need to go to the doctor, I'm fine. And it's cancer, and yeah, you needed to go to the doctor. I mean, everyone heals differently, and we have to be, I think as readers, we have to take that responsibility and be really careful, and be very careful if you're going to read on health. Readers do it. If a reading, like I've had a reading done and one of the cards was health, I said, please don't read my health. I don't want a reading on my health. I have to, take that differently. So anyway, there we have the swords. Thanks.